And welcome along to the JP Broadcasting Network for a very, very special event. Season 2 of iGPFun Super Formula Lights League was in the books last week, but we are on the race for Vimala. The Vimala Centre, based in Mumbai in India, is our sole focus tonight. We have got 35 competitors around the famed World Centre of Speed, the Daytona International Speedway Road Course, and you join myself, Alex Goldscmidt, and Mr. Biggles in the building as well, doing not just colour commentary but also the broadcasting, as you see. Now, this is something that is very much to the heart of iGPFun, which has been running for over 2 decades. The Vimala Centre, based in Mumbai, has a very, very special individual by the name of Suor Bertilla, who rides through the slums of the locality with her bike, looking for and curing people. What we are looking to do is to raise 4,000 euros. And what Suor Bertilla does is that she looks for and curing people with leprosy. In addition to this, she looks after children, starting from the age of 4, of leprosy parents and orphans, offers them shelter, food and education, and brings children to the Vimala Centre, hence the name of this race itself. Over the years, some of the kids have even managed to enroll in college, starting from the slums, which is quite an achievement. Currently, the Vimala Centre is experiencing and going through financial difficulties. The crisis of recent years taking a heavy toll on them, at times leaving them literally with no food. Suor Bertilla, who's been doing this work for over 4 decades, has always been optimistic and has managed to keep things going, but we know that they could always use their help, and we hope that simracers can provide some of it. And there is a link in the description where you can put in your donations via PayPal. A Formula Giving representative visits the place in Mumbai at the Vimala Centre every year. 100% of the money raised tonight by our races goes directly to them. There is no overheads, no fees, nothing. The Vimala Centre also has a hospital and a boarding school for kids. What we raise here is used to take care of the kids, providing food, shelter, and very important, an education, and more importantly, a future. Raising 4,000 euros would cover the costs for 4 children for an entire year until the next race. It would be fantastic for all of you that are watching to take your hands out of your pockets and put some money towards what should be a fantastic evening of racing, but also a worthwhile cause. And with that, Biggles, welcome back in. Daytona International Speedway, the World Centre of Speed, opened back in 1959. This variation, 3.5 miles. It's going to have the good old banking as well, so we've got part of the tri-oval for our drivers to contend with as we're within the final 3 minutes of time qualifying here at the race for Vimala.
Yes, good evening, welcome. Glad to be back in the booth with you. A legend of a voice in motorsports. You can see there we've gone all the way, obviously, from Suzuka all the way over here to Daytona for Roval. And, of course, a fantastic season, as you'd mentioned, too. And, of course, for a great charity that we'll be raising here tonight. So a big shout out to everybody that's been supporting this lovely league all throughout the whole season. Of course, new season coming up as well, too, Alex. But for now, we have to get this charity event done and dusted. And speaking of done and dusted, our championship has been done and dusted. And just to go over a quick recap of that while we're in the dying stages of qualifying.
Well, Tony Jimenez, finally, the man from Spain, took the overall championship on 420 points, beating the likes of Dennis Cornu, Robert Ridgway, Mehmet Tashi, Bernardino Yan, who took pole in the final race at Spa. Also, along with that, we have a new 3,500 champion, and that man is the pride of Wales, the 209 of Eddie Amos. He clinched it by a single point after dramas for Max Invictus towards the end of the final race last week at Spa-Francorchamps. So that's really a quick roundup. We're coming into the final minute and a half of qualifying, and it's the number 51 of Conor Wagner that is leading the way. Thomas Regien, a 2-time race winner last season in IGP, is 2/10 behind. Yunus Amal from Morocco is rounding out the top 3, a further 46 thousandths back. And then we go to the man who's probably more than likely going to have the number 11 or number 1 on his SRP Racing Team car, the Spanish Matador, Tony Jimenez. Max Bartolotta in 5th is not too far behind. We've got about 3.5 tenths covering the top 5. Brad Fulligar, Kevin Swemstra, Lee Aberdeen, Ludovic Consant, Kevin Byland round out the top 10, covered by 6 tenths. And then you go all the way down to Patrick Williams in 20th position from the USA, running in the number 47. And he is currently just over a second adrift. Very competitive, this qualifying session. Eddie Amos, 28th at the moment, 1.4 seconds off of the pace. Dennis Cornu, very surprisingly, down in 30th. The Unity Racing team driver is 1.9 seconds off of pole position. We're coming into the final few moments of this qualifying session. There's a big old moment there. How to do a track cut at turn 1 by Thomas Regien. Younes Amal, the man from Morocco, is now going to make his way through the tri-oval. 18 degrees worth of banking. When they do go onto the oval turns, it's 31 degrees. The back straightaway at 2 degrees itself. Tony Jimenez trying to improve in the final moments of this qualifying session. We have hit 30 minutes elapsed at the Daytona International Speedway road course, which is the home of the Rolex 24 every January, and starts off the
spinner in the front of him might not help.
That was coming out of turn 7. That was nearly a code brown for Tony Jimenez there, but he's making his way through turns 8 and 9. He's starting to increase the speed as we go down the backstretch to the location now known as the Le Mans chicane, formerly known as the bus stop. And Jimenez gets through there, spots flying from the rear diffuser as he goes into, neatly negotiated by the Spaniard as he goes through turn 12, turn 13, and then it's going to be the run down the front stretch, which will mean that the top part of the tri-oval, the banking, dips slightly from 31 to 18 degrees as Jimenez at full speed, full throttle, 6th gear. Is he going to improve on this lap? No, stays 4th. And Lee Aberdeen, who was very much at the sharp end of things, despite the dramas the Australians suffered. Kevin Swemstra.
Wow.
Oh, what an effort from the Flying Dutchman in the number 25, a 1:39.295. Kevin Swemstra on a last gasp effort, went purple pretty much across the board and pipped Conor Wagner by 28 thousandths. Mamma mia, if that wasn't a last lap dash for pole, Kevin Swemstra showed right there how to do it there. Biggles.
He shows you about the width of a cigarette piece of paper or something like that, Martin Brundle would say. So that's absolutely close. As you can see, the top 20 drivers now separated by 1 second, and the absolutely 10 seconds remaining of our qualifying sessions. With see if Nicholas has got time to get back around. He won't, unfortunately, because he's just gone through the bus stop, and he's got a whole turns 2, 3 to go. Once you won't make it, that's it for our qualifying session.
So for the race for Vimala here on Sunday, June 15th, 2025. Here's your starting grid for what is going to be a great race here at Daytona International Speedway. Target €4,000. Get your wallets out, folks, and donate in the link in the description below. Kevin Swemstra and Conor Wagner on the front row of the grid. Thomas Regien, Younes Amal, row 2. Row 3, Tony Jimenez and Max Bartolotta. Row 4, Brad Fulligar and Lee Aberdeen. Ludovic Consant and Dario Frattini round out the top 10. Kevin Byland and Robert Ridgway round out row 6, ahead of Nicholas Rasmussen and Kenzie Newhoff. Jeremy Hagenauer and Andy Flint round out row 8, ahead of Bahadine Ayan, Alexis de Klerk, Julio Palacio and Patrick Williams, who round out the top 20. Marius Anderson and Koji Ito round out row 11, ahead of Luca Verani and Marcis Putniks. Philip Lucas and Tom Bland round out row 13, ahead of Clark Williams. Eddie Amos, Adam Townsma, Dennis Cornu, Jokan Nguyen, and then Andre Hansen Jesse Leroy and Dorian Arroyo, with Maddox Otlovs having set the slowest time in that qualifying session. We are waiting for everyone to ready up here at the circuits, and it is going to be underneath the floodlights. So there are going to be patches of this circuit where drivers are going to have to use their spatial awareness, and it is going to be a standing start. There's our good old Flag Marshal Barney patiently awaiting for the grid to start readying up. Thomas Rigier slots in behind Kevin Swemstra, who pips Conor Wagner by less than 3/100ths of a second, 28 thousandths. As the 5 red lights for iGPFun, the race for Vimala at Daytona, gets underway right now. Slow start from Swemstra, and Wagner's trying to go around the outside. Rigier down to the inside over the black and yellow line as they head into turn 1. And Wagner round the outside. Is he going to make the move on Rigier through as they head in towards the International Horseshoe at turn number 3? And Rigier round the outside. Wagner trying to do what he can. Rigier runs wide. Wagner gets through. Now it's into turn 4. The quick flick left, and then hard on the brakes into the next horseshoe. Rigier looking to the inside of Wagner. They nearly make a little bit of contact wheel to wheel, but Rigier gets the move done. Now it's the short blast up to turn 6. And at the moment it is Rigier, Wagner, Swemstra and Eunice Amal leading the way. Bartolotta has moved up a place. Ludovic Hansard has moved up 3 places. As oh, we've had a bit of drama in the background. Dennis Cornu has made his way up the order by 4 spots from 30th on the grid. 26 laps of the Daytona International Speedway at the road course variation, the world centre of speed. And we're seeing a great battle here. Jimenez and Hansard. And Jimenez gets through the Le Mans chicane, side by side. And Ludovic Hansard gets so... Oh, he was so unlucky there, was Ludovic Hansard. On board with BWRT's Kevin Byland, the man from Sweden. He's got Brad Fullergard trying to go to the outside as they go down the front stretch and into the 18-degree banking.
At the moment,
we're nearly 4 wide behind them as well. Look at that scramble as round the outside into turn 1. Once again, Conor Wagner able to carry the momentum through. Rigier's over his rear wing like a bad rash. Swemstra's racing to pick up the pieces. Jimenez is leading this squabble, which is more than a quintet. That's 6 cars. They're not that far behind. Kevin Byland, who's now up into P5, running on board with the Aussie, Lee Aberdeen. Trying to see if he can make some moves up the order as they go through turn 4. Hard on the brakes into 5. And then it's rotate the car round. Looks like Robert Ridgway is losing a position or 2, one of which to Dario Frattini. Nearly sounds just like Dario Franchitti. However, completely different spelling of the last surname there.
A little loosey-goosey from Ridgway, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely had a bit of a wobble on the back end.
Love that
look at the livery on that car.
Yeah.
Especially under these night lights. But look, that's Ludovic Hansard right behind the number 17. So Lee Aberdeen could be under threat. He has lost the position. It's 3 wide. Oh, Ludovic Hansard with an absolutely overzealous attempt. Oh no, he's lost it. He clashed wheels. Aberdeen had nowhere to go, and Hansard, hard on the brakes coming out of the Le Mans chicane, and the Frenchman drops down the order like a pebble dropped in a pond. Meantime, Wagner and Rigier, wheel to wheel, side by side, through into the tri-oval, through the Geico acceleration zone, and Wagner has to hold station. The Delta Sport U4K driver behind Thomas Rigier. Rigier now starting to open up a slight lead, but Ludovic Hansard was so unlucky there. Robert Ridgway loses out to Kenzie Newhoff in the meantime. Then you've got Alexis de Klerk, I think also with Patrick Williams. They're battling tooth and nail here at the moment. And de Klerk gets through at the Rodriguez International Horseshoe at turn number 3. We're on lap 3 out of 26. And Biggles, this race. Okay, yes, it's under the floodlights, but boy, oh boy. Have we got a spectacle for the race for Vimala?
Yeah, we got drivers stepping out of the shadow and into the spotlight for sure here this evening. I'm still seeing fantastic racing. Early days, 3 of 26, of course, is going to be, we'd have to say, well, it's not like a Long Beach kind of scenario, is it, of survival of the fittest, but so far, 4-wide action, even sometimes 5-wide action. I mean, that NASCAR drivers would be sitting there paying attention to that going, well, we can't even do that.
Yeah, they'd definitely be saying boogity, 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 let's go 5 wide, boys. But at the moment, Kenzie Newhoff for the Hydra Racing Forces, slotting in behind Flatini in 8th position at the moment. He's lost a bit of time to Brad Fullergar. Tony Jimenez now rounding out the top 5. He's 1.7 seconds behind Eunice Amal. Lee Aberdeen's had a drama in the meantime, and he's dropped as well. So what has happened to our resident Aussie superstar? Oh, he's off, and he's on the grass.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. He gets up at 5 o'clock-ish in the morning, and a cold morning too in Australia, no doubt, as we're entered in the winter, as you guys are getting into the stormy season, and it's hot in other parts of the world as well too. You get that Aussie summer coming now, as the heat at the moment here in Daytona is starting to get to boiling point with some of these drivers.
Yeah, Kevin Byland trying to battle away with Tony Jimenez. And there is Koji Ito trying to battle away with, I think it was Lucas Ferrani, not too far behind, not too far in front. One of the men behind iGPFun is we've got Jeremy Aguinar, the teammate of Thomas Regien for the Artandela Racing team. Up the inside he goes on Nicholas Rasmussen. So it was a clean pass there. Or actually, no, it wasn't Rasmussen. My apologies there, because he's about 8 tenths behind. It was on Patrick Williams in the number 47 car as they come out of turn number 7 and onto the 31-degree oval banking here at Daytona. And then Thomas Regien is being slipstreamed quite significantly here by Conor Wagner as they go into the Le Mans chicane at turns 10 and 11. Then you can see Regien with that rear diffuser mowing the grass whilst he's at it as well, doing a Valtteri Bottas impersonation. Nicholas Rasmussen. Oh, this is going to be really,
that's
really
not going to be good.
Between
No.
Aguilar and Williams.
Oh.
Oh! Williams is out. Williams is out. That was a big hit. And no! Who on earth was that just hit him? Oh my giddy aunt. Oh dear. I knew it was going to be a case. So that was, we've got Hagenauer, Guyen is also out.
We'll have
so
to go back.
Here's Williams. Okay,
Yeah.
look at Varani goes by, a couple more, and then bang. Straight in.
So if you've got small children, make them look away right now. This is why you do not go side by side through here. Have a look at this. You've got a car to the left. They're battling it out.
Yeah.
And 2 and 1 does not equal.
Yeah, interlocks wheels. Williams up in the air, hits the barriers, bang. Hits the catch fencing.
And then bang.
I was trying to catch a number there. I think it might have been Giulio Palacio that might have done so as well. But Adam Talsma, he's been making some moves up the order.
Oh, yeah, there
10
was.
places up. It was Giulio Palacio for the Speedworks Racing team.
Sorry.
That's okay. So we're now going to ride on board. Now, here goes Palacio.
Bang.
Oh, it was a bit like Formula 3, FIA Formula 3 Euro Series race. Back in the 2010s, where someone went off, caught the dust, and then someone else just decided could not see anything, went for the corner, and literally just torpedoed like Giulio Palacio did just then. However, Eunice Amal now closing in on our pole sitter, Kevin Swepstra. Marius Anderson closing in on Andre Hansen and Adam Talsma. Now this is the battle for 18th as they go through the Le Mans chicane and head through turn number 12. You can't exactly miss Marius Anderson's livery on that car, can you? White with some very deep cyan purple there. Tony Jimenez and Kevin Byland are losing time significantly. Kevin Byland trying to put the frighteners on the man who just picked up the Season 2 2025 overall title just last week at Spa. Well, he actually picked it up with a round to spare. But Thomas Regien, Conor Wagner with Eunice Amal rounding out the top 3. Eunice Amal is being dropped quite significantly, but there are batters up and down the order. Luca Varani back on our screens again. He's newest driver in the 222. gets through once again on Philip Lucas.
Somebody's
Robert
blinking.
Ridgway. Yeah, Robert Ridgway has just been passed by Bahadinayan, and so has Alexis de Clercq. So Bahadinayan, the driver from Turkey, gets it up into the top 10, having qualified 17th for this event. We're on lap 6 out of 26, and here's where you're going to see the slipstream come into effect. Courtesy of our good man here, number 17, Robert Ridgway himself.
Oh, Robert, you're a tiger. Growl at him, my friend. He gets another blinker at the moment there from...
Oh, behave.
Oh, behave, yeah.
There we go. Robert Ridgway makes mincemeat out of the two cubs in front of him, let's say.
Oh, nice.
But the good thing is, well, Bahadinayan's going to watch his ping rate at the moment because he is blinking here or there. And then Nicholas Rasmussen also coming down up the inside. That was nicely done by the Goldscmidt NHR driver from Denmark, the number 71.
Yeah, Kevin and Tony.
Meantime, Kevin's gone round the outside of Tony. Yeah. Oh, well, that was a bit of a surprise coming through the tri-oval there.
And he's got the other Kevin. So we've got the Kevin and Kevin show. That's not the law firm. That's a paddle. And it looks like it's going around the outside. Oh,
so Kevin
that's a slowdown.
Oh, so that was for Kevin Byland, was it? So, yeah, that meant that he's had to. He's going to be put a little bit more into the clutches of Tony Jimenez. So, as Robert Ridgway and Bahadinayan, this is going to be into the left-hander here at turn 4. Is Bahadinayan going to be later on the brakes than Robert Ridgway? Yes, he is. Gets it nicely turned in, nibbles the curbing on the inside of the apex. And the number 89 gets back through. Still, his ping is a little bit worrisome, especially now with week 13 having gone in, and there's more of a problem with regard. Well, there's not so much a problem; it's more a case of with regards to the ping is being monitored by the servers at any one time. As Marius Anderson closing in on Adam Talsma. This is the battle for 18th position. Meantime, Tony Jimenez has got Brad Fullergar right up his rear, going through the Le Mans chicane. So Fullergar will get a nice little bit of slipstream. We're seeing speeds approaching about 266 to, I think the highest I've seen is about 280 kilometers an hour. So 256, 257, 263. There we go. Right. Here's the slipstream for you, folks. Brad Fullergar, 270 kilometers an hour in a Super Formula Lights car. Goes round to the outside.
Yeah.
And that's a heck of a lot of speed there.
Not even Formula 1 cars do that, of course, but they don't have a tractor door on. It's crazy. I mean, they
200. Yeah, exactly. 270 kilometers an hour is 160, close to 168 mph.
Well, wait, they do it in Baku, don't they? They reach 300 and something, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
350. Yeah, 350 down that very, very long start-finish straight. I would imagine that if Formula 1 was still racing at Fuji International Speedway, you'd probably be hitting about 350, 360, because that start-finish straight at Fuji is one of the longest in modern-day motorsport. It's 1.5 kilometers long. So, but yeah, I mean, Tony Jimenez coming back at Kevin Byland. And here we have the battle for the race lead, now on lap 8 out of 26. And at the moment, well, the thing is, we do have some prizes to give away, but there is a stipulation, and I am going to read what it is, which, if I remember correctly, only drivers completing 90% of the race distance are eligible for the prizes.
Right.
So,
got to be in it to win it. Challenge for the lead.
So you got to complete 23.5 laps, effectively. If you are less than 20, I think it's 23.4 laps. Gotta
make it stop. Gotta make it stop.
Is he gonna do it? He's just about made it. Oh, again, it's like, to me, to you, it's like the Chuckle Brothers all over again. But Thomas Vizjan getting a really good run coming out of the Rodriguez International Horseshoe. And into turn 4 they go, line astern at high speed, hard on the brakes, into turn 5. And Wagner still keeping Reggiat at bay. But still great racing up and down the order. Biggest mover of the night so far, Dennis Cornu. Take a bow, sir. 14 places gained. Andre Hansen, 14 places gained. Those drivers started 30th and 32nd, respectively. So at the moment, well, we've had 2 DNFs who will not be taking part in our random lottery later on. Patrick Williams out on lap 3. Max Bartolotta out before the end of the opening lap. So guys, unfortunately, not going to have you in the lottery that's going to take place after the race has been concluded here for the Race for Vimala live here on the JP Broadcasting Network as Thomas Reggiat gets closer still to the outside into the tri-oval. Reggiat is going to be ahead by a front wing, and Wagner's going to be keeping it low to the inside. And is Reggiat going to serve a little bit of outside humble pie to Conor Wagner? The answer is no.
What's interesting on that one, there could be a little dress rehearsal as to second place being in a fantastic position to try to steal P1, of course, with that slipstream. So if you're on the last lap of the race, that might be the best position to be. You've got to get the exits of exits out of the bus stop, really, to be on the massive defense that you're going to be in that situation. So now that could be something that these drivers are going to be aware of to see how close they need to be by the time they exit the bus stop, and that'll give them the indication whether or not they'll steal that P1 across the line. So they're going to be doing that a few times here this evening, and that's something you're going to be looking at if you want to win, of course, our final charity race of the season.
Yes, indeed. So, it's just basically. So, if you have made a donation, I'd like to hear from you in the chat on the JPB stream that is going on at the moment. The more that we can raise, if we can hit that target of 4,000 euros, it would mean so much. Brad Fulligar so close to the right rear of Kevin Byland as they go through into the Le Mans chicane. Had to back out of that one.
Yeah,
that nearly could have been that nearly could have been a moment of what we saw with Patrick Williams and Giulio Palacio just a few moments ago, and hitting the catch fencing. Meantime, Andre Hansen, Zoll, Adam Talsma.
Oh, through there, mate.
There is.
Wow.
There's Marius Anderson. Look at that for a bump draft
caught.
on Super Formula 9.
He was caught, I think, in the front wing there for a second. We have seen that from these cars before.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer. We're at lap 11 out of 26, so after this, 2 more laps until we hit half-time. So things very much heating up and down the order. So Williams, Hansen and Anderson embroiled in a 3-way scrap over 18th position as they head into turn number 1 at this fantastic, nearly 3.6 mile long circuit, the home of the Rolex 24 every January. So who have we got? Koji Ito, Dennis Cornu. Oh dear. Now this is not. Spin.
It's a sympathy spin. Yeah, he felt bad for him and said,
Dennis just locks up the brakes.
Yeah.
Oh dearie me. That just goes to show how quickly you can get things wrong, and I think Dennis just wanted to stop the car before any further. Yeah, he just like. No, that was a get out of job that he had to avoid, didn't he?
Yep.
Very, very lucky individual. But meantime, Brad Fulligar is through on Kevin Byland, and now Byland's going to be back at him. It's the outside through the 31-degree banking here at the oval turns. So they're going to be coming down onto the tri-oval. So Kevin Byland trying to nose ahead at the moment on the run into T1. He's about half a car length ahead of, Tony Jimenez has gone round the Tony Jimenez was round the outside of them for a moment, I believe, and Kevin Byland trying to do the crisscross here through into T1, and Jimenez is back with them. There's Kenzie Newhoff, Dario Frattini also in the back.
Yeah.
And what's happened to Conor Wagner in the meantime?
Connor's just gone. I think he's gone off track there because he's just dropped completely back there. He's dropped to P3 at the moment. We'll get a little bit of a replay what's happened to Connor, and then this is exactly what's happened to Connor. He's gone, I'd say, after the kitty litter there. Yep. And that's just maybe cost him a slowdown, potentially. And there it does.
It looked like he carried it looked like he carried a lot of speed into there, and now that's the moment where we see him lose out that third place, so lose out that second place to Eunice Amal. So Conor Wagner has got the fastest lap of the race. Marius Anderson right up the rear of Adam Talsma. And they've got Clark Williams in front. Dennis Cornu up 15 places. Dorian Arroyo. More dramas for Conor Wagner. He's just been passed by Brad Folligar. As now Eunice Amal has got the lead from Thomas Reggian.
Yeah.
So the Moroccan now out front for Unity Racing. The Outlander Artendelia Racing Team. Number 36 from France. Winner of 2 races last season in iGPFun. And he is now losing a little bit of time to Eunice Amal, who is really starting to go
our
quickly.
championship leader's gone off the track somewhere too. Oh, he's gone wide.
Tony.
He just avoided all that. He said there's no way 3 into 1 and figured he wants to be a part of potentially winning some prizes. Remember, he wants to finish that race and complete a certain amount of laps, of course, that he can do it. And there it is. Connor's gone into pit road.
Whether he's picked up some damage, maybe, is the only underlying thought that I would have. Clark Williams up the inside of Adam Talsma, through on the tri-oval. Conor Wagner, well, started on the outside of the front row. It's a difficult race for him this time, but more importantly, it's not always about the being the winner across the line. It's also about, in this particular race, more importantly, the taking part and help to raise money for a fantastic cause. Please don't forget to donate anything you can via the link in the description down below for the Vimala Centre in Mumbai in India, and help Sister Bertilla continue the work that she has so diligently done for the last over 4 decades, 40 years of commitment to help the local children, those from leprosy parents, those that have been orphaned, to give them a future. Your money will make a difference. No fees, no overheads, nothing will be taken away from 100% of the money that you people raise here with us now. And if you have donated, please put something in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. And if you are supporting drivers, who are you rooting for? Who do you think's going to win tonight? Because at the moment, Eunice Amal is leading Thomas Reggian, and that gap is now over 2.1 seconds. I think the Moroccans pulled the pin.
It's like a modern day Mother Teresa, right? Actually, with that
exactly
charity. That's the first thing that came to my mind. That's amazing.
Exactly. So we are past the halfway point. We're on to lap 14 out of 26. Adam Talsma. Right, here we go. Jeremy Hagenauer, the teammate of Thomas Reggian. Let's have a look. This is going to be going into turns 6 and 7. Oh, lucky boy. Lucky boy. If he hadn't hit those brakes, Biggles, I think that would have been it. Game over.
Yeah, you get out in those marbles as well, too, around the outside. You start to see the rear end start to slip and slide for these super formulas, so they've got to be very gingerly, especially because there's a lot of kitty litter starting to get kicked up there as well. So not only you got to deal with a couple of marbles, you've got a bit of kitty litter and sorts of dilemma.
Maybe some grass.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's a bit of grass mowing at the Mont Chicane. There's quite a bit of that happening now.
Challenge for P2 at the moment as the Frenchman's trying to hunt down the Dutchman.
Oh, so Kevin Swemstra has made it through on Thomas Reggian, who has had a drama on his previous lap. Swemstra 140.7, Reggian 142.3. Excuse me. So that suggests that Thomas Reggian has had a bit of a moment. Robert Ridgway trying to go past the man for the Turkish Racing Formula team, Bahadin Ayan, as they go through in towards the tri-oval. Ridgway gets the slipstream on Ayan, goes high and wide. Is he going to go late on the brakes into T1? He's going to give it a try, but unfortunately that is not to be enough, but Ayan goes off.
Oh,
Oh, who's that? Kevin Byland. Oh, there's a tag between the pair, and Bahadine Ayan goes exit stage right and off. Oh, it was all because Kevin Byland had dropped it. And oh well, it was Bahadine Ayan that started the chain reaction himself. He hit the curb.
Yeah.
And well, Robert Ridgway had nowhere else to go, and inadvertently removed the Turkish driver's rear wing from the chassis.
It could be that little bit of netcode that's been occurring as well, too. You know, it'd be very, very difficult to judge. We've seen him blinking quite a bit. There is a service, actually, you can use, so we are listening back on that one. I noticed that in a couple of leagues that I do broadcast for as well, too. Some of the Aussies used to have that blinking, and there's a service that uses kind of some backup internet and things like that there, so kind of solve that out. We'll see. But they said that a couple of them actually told me that since they've been using that service, I've not experienced that problem.
Well, considering, let's talk about problems. Well, Kevin Byland is being closed in on by Mr. Luca Varani. Luca started down in 23rd. He's one position away from the top 10. Kevin Byland, who I think was the driver that was stuck on the inside of turn 2. And this now means that Varani is going to get a lot of slipstreams, staying in the wheel tracks of the Swede in front, and is going to go to the outside. Will Varani get the run on him? It could be very close indeed.
Kevin goes in pit
Byland goes, so Byland goes into pit lane. He probably got some damage after that code brown he had through turn 2. Andre Harrison trying to go around the outside of Dennis Cornu and Marius Anderson. This could be very, very close indeed. Hanson's going to give it a try. Gets through on the Frenchman. Will he try on Anderson? No. But Cornu tries to dive back up the inside through at turn 2. Can't get the job done. Into 3. Now into the Rodriguez International Horseshoe. Here on lap number 16 out of 26. Kevin Byland now rejoins the circuit. We're just outside of the top 20. So, more to the point, well, Kenzie Newhoff is closing in. Thomas Rigiat must have some form of problem with his car because, look, Kenzie Newhoff passed and around going onto the back straight. And Thomas Rigiat was absolutely wicked quick earlier on in the race. He got to the race lead, did some great battling with Conor Wagner, but his pace has just literally been, he's been siphoning time every so often. And if he's constantly getting slowdowns through track limits, then that's where his biggest problem lies here at Daytona.
I'd say so, absolutely, for sure. He is down, as you can see, a couple of places from where he started. But we know that he has the pace. Maybe he's just biding his time a little bit. You can get that slipstream back around. But see, he's not kinking it right out. He knows that turn 1's coming up rapidly. And right now, drops it down to third gear. Navigates his way through there gingerly, you'd have to say.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one, Biggles. Meantime, Nicholas Rasmussen closing in on Robert Ridgway. Now, this is the battle between the American and the Dane for what is 8th position on the road. Robert Ridgway started 12th, now runs P8. Nicholas Rasmussen started actually on the row behind him, P9. Dennis Cornu now up into 14th and is closing in on Marius Anderson. There is Lee Aberdeen on Kevin Byland. Aberdeen gets to the inside of the Swede as they go through the top part of the tri-oval. And then it's through into turn 1. Byland goes a little bit late on the brakes. Aberdeen able to try and fend him off initially. But look at the carryover speed that Kevin Byland had using the crisscross there. And along with that, you've got Alexis de Klerk, one of the other Unity Racing team drivers, just behind, as this battle continues onwards for 22nd position. As de Klerk, don't try and fling it around the outside of turn 4, please. That was very, very close, and he dives up the inside of Lee Aberdeen. And Lee himself, a previous iGPFun Super Formula Leagues champion. Super Formula Lights champion, my apologies there. But we are getting into the final few laps.
Oh, got held up a little bit there.
And here goes Dario Frattini. He's doing the old NASCAR trick down the inside. Gets through on Thomas Rigier. Tony Jimenez round the outside of the Frenchman into T1. Well, There we go. Regiat is siphoning time here, Biggles. I can't explain why. Whether he's got some damage on the side of that car, that could be. I mean, if he's constantly getting slowdowns. I mean, his last lap a 42.3. Jimenez 39.888. Frattini a 40.5. So it seems like as this race goes on, it's not going in the favour of the Frenchman in 7th position, whereas everyone like Amal, Swemstra, Fullegar, Newhoff, as Conor Wagner recovering, dives up the inside through the Rodriguez International Horseshoe at turn 4 on Adam Talsma. Now that is a change for 15th on the road. I'll be quite interested to see how many places Conor Wagner is able to gain in the remaining 9 laps that we've got. So this is going to be quite crucial. Brad Fullegar closing in on Kevin Swemstra.
Yeah, he needs to get on with it.
Yeah, he does. He really does.
Because the leader's getting away, isn't it? So Amal's up the road by 2.5, and he realises, hey, if I want him in this race, I've got to start getting past Kevin first. Or let's say maybe work together. Do a little switcheroo, see him and get some speed on the race leader. But that's the situation on your pitches right now.
Yeah, exactly. So Brad Fullegar's got to put his big boy pants on and just go for it. And round the outside on Kevin Swemstra goes Brad Fullegar, the number 18, now up into P2. And Fullegar that time was half a second quicker than the race leader. Koji Ito battling away with, I think that is
Black Williams.
Yeah, and has just gotten to the outside. The Team M-Tech driver trying to get through if they can into turn 1. Well, Ito's not going to do it from back there, so loses a little bit of time, about the best part of 7/10 of a second to Clark Williams. Go back to Andy Flint, who's battling away with Tom Bland for 17th position. Andy, the Scuderia Racing Forces, man who's been a part of this championship for many a season.
Yeah.
And continues to compete in it. And it's really, really good that we have all these regular drivers that come in and, you know, okay, yes, there is always that opportunity to compete at a high level, but in a very, very even championship, in the fact that everyone's in the same boat.
Different livery.
Tony Jimenez closing in on Dario Frattini as they go through the Le Mans chicane. Very shortly about to go on to lap 20, which means we'll have 7 to go. And Yunus Amal, the Moroccan for Unity Racing Team, doing a stellar job at the front end of the field. His last lap was a 1:40.5. Kevin Swemstra now in P3 behind Brad Fullegar. They go across the line for their respective last lap times. 1:40.444.
Yeah, it's too slow.
That was a new personal best for Kevin Swemstra. Tony Jimenez now through on Dario Frattini, who goes exit stage right and carries too much speed. Going through into T1. Lee Aberdeen still battling away with Alexis de Klerk and Kevin Byland as they go through the Le Mans chicane. This is the battle for 22nd, 23rd and 24th. You see the lights flicker over the liveries of these Super Formula Lights cars. As through the banking they go. As de Klerk goes high. Oh, where's Aberdeen going to put it? He's going to put it to the inside. Lee Aberdeen, does he get the buy one, get one free special through the Geico acceleration zone? And Aberdeen has got the job done, but now it's the hard braking zone into T1. Ireland tries to throw it to the outside, tries to get the over-under, and Lee Aberdeen says, no, you don't, Sonny Jim.
No. He says, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi,
absolutely
oi, oi.
Fantastic job. Some great drivers there with Alex in the background, so I didn't expect that to be over just yet. It's going to, with down the back there of Andre as well, too, who's trying to hold off the Aussie, and the Aussie's going to send up the inside and say, all right, my friend, let's go. Get out into the marbles. Exactly you saw there from Andre. Couldn't quite get the power down there, and he'll also lose out to Kevy and Alex.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes happening in this race so far, as we are fast running out of laps. We're on to 6 remaining on the board. But yeah, Fullegar and Swemstra, they are going to be battling away quite a lot. So, effectively, the good thing is we've got these battles up and down the order. And this is what is customary of iGPFun Super Formula Lights. There is nowhere you can't look where there won't be a battle. As we have got Dennis Cornu ahead of Conor Wagner, ahead of Marius Anderson. Wagner to the inside, Anderson to the inside. Cornu does not really fight it that much, as Conor Wagner just sets the timing sheets purple, Dean. He's just put in a 1:30.39, 6:90. We've got 6 to go, including this. I've got a feeling that, who's not to say that Conor Wagner, if he plays his cards right, could he get maybe a top 12 finish by the end of this race? I think that's on the realms of possibility, because he's got Koji Ito and Clark Williams not too far ahead.
Yeah, they're going to get in slipstream, so he's going to find it very, very difficult to break away from them at this point of the race. But sitting fastest lap of the race is the best way to do it, as Kevin's trying to retake that position back on Brad. And once again, that gap to the lead is still about 2.5 seconds. Not quite sure what they're going to be able to get out of this to steal P1 away. It's more between these two drivers is battling for the second step on the podium. Because Amal's just, he's gone unless he makes a mistake, which I don't think so. He's going to steal the charity race win.
Yes, indeed. As we are counting down the laps and the corners, Brad Fullegar and Kevin Swemstra still battling away. There's a gaggle of 4 here.
This one.
And it's Lee Aberdeen. Lee Aberdeen and Kevin Byland side by side. Oh, and Byland goes grass tracking. He mows the grass. He nearly comes straight back into the path of Lee Aberdeen. Oh, my goodness. Careful, boys.
Yeah, you're so close to the end, aren't you? Now, you just don't want to have to see that fence come out and bite you pretty hard. And I don't think it's going to be over between these two drivers as well, too. Don't forget about Declare in the background, too, my friend. He's going to be having a bird's eye. Let's ride on board with him and see this battle up the road. I don't know if he actually wants to get involved in this, but he could take a 2-for-1 special. If they do tangle, it takes 2 to tangle, my friend. It takes 3 to party. Wow.
2's company, 3's a crowd. Yeah. Lee Aberdeen straight away goes, bye, Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Bye, Kevin. So does Alexis at the same time. But we are really coming down to the end of what has been an enthralling race here. Battle for P2 still yet to be decided. Kevin Swemstra in P3, closing it under slipstream behind Brad Fullegar. Yunus Amal, the Moroccan from Unity Racing Team, is away and clear. It's his race to lose at the moment with an advantage of about 2.7 seconds. Here goes Kevin Swemstra at the top part of the tri-oval, over the front stretch across the line. It's 4 to go, and Swemstra, will he go round the outside? Will he get underneath? Brad Fullegar into T1, 2 and 3. Unfortunately not the case, but there's still
time. Oh, we got a spinner in the background. Who was that?
Oh, someone went straight on. Definitely saw someone going straight on. Missed turn 1 completely. Wondering who that is.
Might have been Kenzie. Yeah, it was Kenzie.
That's
just
Kenzie
behind those two
Newhoff.
drivers we watched, and that will be ahead of Tony Jimenez. It just goes past there as well. So very lucky that didn't happen a day early and a dollar shorter, as that would have definitely been a moment for our championship leader. Well, winner, actually, of Tony.
Yeah. Yeah, well...
Kevin's gone back into pit road again.
I'm wondering if he's had too many track limits, maybe.
Yeah, very true. I'll be on that one.
Possible if he's... Well, if that's the drive-through trundle of shame down the pit lane, no, he's probably decided to repair some more damage. Well, that car has beat in.
It's going to be good exit run here.
We are nearly at the point of when our two drivers battling over second and third. Yunus Amal is not that far away. We are very close to hitting the 90% race distance, which is very crucial because there are going to be some prizes given away at the end of this race. And, well, more to the point, Dennis Cornu ahead of Koji Ito, up 16 spots at the moment. Clark Williams who is now 6.8 seconds behind Luca Varani, who rounds out the top 10, also has gained 16 positions. Luca Varani himself has gained 13, as we are very close to seeing more moves happening. Conor Wagner versus Clark Williams, and Wagner is through. Williams in that very, kind of reminds me of the Tony Kanaan 711 livery from back in the early 2000s in IndyCar. Dennis Cornu has a bit of a wobble going round the outside at turn number 1, but our leader has now broken through the 90% race distance. So we have got several drivers. They must complete. Now, looking at this at the moment, we have all the way down to at least 29th that have a very, very good shot of being in that 90% plus race distance. And I'm taking this as per what I see on our live timing at the moment. So
I think that Kevin's going to wait till the last lap here to make a move on Brad. It's going to be very difficult for Brad to defend that. Let's see whether or not he does sling it out. You see, he's not lifting. But will he break a little bit earlier? We've still got the bus stop to navigate through. I've already passed the bus stop, my apologies. Turn 1. Don't think he's going to do a send here. I think I'm happy just to chase him. And wait to the last lap, of course, and then just go for gold, of course. Why wouldn't you? P2's up for grabs. Brad's got to do most of really good exits out of the bus stop. I think I'll be able to hold that one off.
Yeah, so the top 23, top 24 have now made it past 90% of the race distance, which is 23.4 laps. And that is 90%. You have to complete at least 90%. Hopefully Giulio Palacio and Jeremy Hagenauer will also have that. So this is where things are going to get very, very close indeed. Robert Ridgway ahead of Kenzie Newhoff as we are on our penultimate lap of the race for Vimala, the Vimala Centre, based in Mumbai.
That's wide. That's wide.
Kenzie, you are so close to going slammo into the wall, though, right there. But next time around, it will be the white flag lap here at this particular moment, because Yunus Amal is going to be at full speed, over 260 kph. He's got Kevin Byland in front of him. He's going to pull to the outside, and now his lead is expanding to over 3.1 seconds into the tri-oval. White flag in the air here for the race for Vimala, and Yunus Amal for the Unity Racing team, the Moroccan in the 64, is leading. But now it's about who will be second best on the road here at the World Centre of Speed. Will it be Svenstra? Will it be Fulligar? We ride on board with the Flying Dutchman in the number 25 on the airbox cam into the Rodriguez International Horseshoe for what will be the final time. Glad to say that 29 drivers will be going through to our lottery at the end of the race, but it is going to be the fact of who will be top dog in the battle for best of the rest, because Yunus Amal is away and clear.
Robert.
Oh, that was a great move through at turn 4
by
Kenzie Newhoff on Robert Ridgway. Well pointed out there, Dean. But we are going into the final the final half of this race. Well, the last half of this lap, actually, which will conclude the race for Vimala. Yunus Amal clear by 2.8 seconds. We're down the back stretch for the final time. Kevin Stremstra has got to line it up perfectly after the Le Mans chicane, which we head through now. Keep that throttle pinned. Keep it nice and clean. Now he's going to get the run. 2/10, and that is closing. Do not pull out of the slipstream yet, Kevin. You need to keep it planted to the floor. He's going to be right with him. He's going to go to the outside. But Yunus Amal is very shortly going to go through the tri-over for the final time. And the Moroccan wins the race for Vimala here at Daytona. It's going to be a photo finish. It's going to be a photo finish. It's Fulligar. Fulligar by 6 1,000ths ahead of Swemstra at the line to conclude the top 3
We got another close one here
Tony
too.
Jimenez. Oh, here we go. We've got another photo finish, and Robert Ridgway pips Kenzie Newhoff by 52 thousandths at the line. How's about that, folks? How's about that? 2 photo finishes, but Unisamal takes the victory. Andy Flint is battling away with, I think it's, that's definitely not a.
Yeah.
That's probably either a back marker or somebody in front. We are going to have 31 drivers that will be very much. I'm just taking a screenshot.
This may be another one
now, but
another photo finish, perhaps. Ooh, nope. That's going to be going to.
That's Marcius Putniks from the. Yeah.
Alex. What happened to Alex at the end? They just dropped a couple of places more down. They declare he was in that battle there before. Lee ends up taking that one as well too. Eddie Amos a bit further down. Well, do we have our? Yep. Celebrations, of course, at the end of it. They're blowing up their engines, but it doesn't matter. There's no return to sender. Look at this.
This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. Everyone's just having fun. This is a charity race. This means a lot to the entire iGPFun community, especially one of the people behind this, Luca Verani, who does so much work getting everything ready every single week with the driver's briefing, all the points. The team behind the scenes, they do a fantastic job. But Unisamal is your Race for Vimala winner here at the Daytona International Speedway, finishing ahead. Look, it's like, I don't care about aero. We don't need it when we're doing donuts. Absolutely fantastic. But after 26 laps, Unisamal wins the race by 2 3/4 seconds ahead of Brad Fulligot, and the adjusted time 0.01 of a second between Brad and Kevin, with Tony, Dario, Nicholas, Robert, Kenzie, Monsieur Regien and Luca Verani rounding out the top 10. Connor Wagner, Clark Williams, Marius Anderson, Dennis Cornu, Oji Ito rounds out your top 15. Adam Talsma was 16th ahead of Andy Flint. Then Tom Bland, Lee Aberdeen, Marcis Putniks from the Latvian Arrows, Alexis de Klerk, Dorian Arroyo, Andre Harrison, Eddie Amos, Jesse Leroy, Bahadinayan, Julio Palacio, Jeremy Hagenar, Guyen, and Kevin Byland, and Maddox Otlovs being the last of the drivers that crossed the line. And every single one of those 31 drivers will be in the lottery very shortly for some very, very special prizes. Ludovic Constant out on lap 19, Philip Lucas on lap 11, and then, well, we did have 35 drivers at the end of this, and not everyone made it to the checkered flag. But we have a very, very special lottery. So, Mr. Biggles, would you do the honours? We need to show up what we're giving away. iRacing credits. iRacing credits. So, what we will do is we'll slightly amend this, is that because obviously we've got 31 drivers, so I think for 21 to 30 we'll do 21 to 31, so it gives 11 drivers a chance, because if we do 31 then one's just going to win it. Okay, so
all right,
what we need
we're going to pull that up. Yep, 21 to 31. All right,
but that is, so we'll start in the reverse order. So what we're going to do is that 2 drivers from positions 21 to 31 will get $50 worth of iRacing credits. So, Mr. Biggles, can you spin the wheel for me for the first time tonight?
I'm going to do that.
Yeah. And that is going to driver 24, Eddie Amos, is going to be picking up $50, $50 US. And as I say that, Luca Verani, good evening.
Luca, good evening.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Right, well, we've just done the first draw for the. We're going in reverse order.
Yeah, give me a second.
Yep.
Yeah, here I am. Some problems with the microphone. I hope it was a good race.
We did have the biggest catch fencing incident involving Mr. Patrick Williams and Giulio Palacio. But yeah, it was a really, really good race. Battles as always with iGPFun. So Eddie Amos is the first driver to pick up a prize of $50 of iRacing credits. Biggles, need the wheels spun one more time for drivers 21 to 30, but we need to take out 24. So we'll remove that. So if you put in the exclude at the bottom, exclude 24.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Are
can you
ready?
please spin the wheel one more time?
Ooh, it's 22.
Dorian Arroyo will now also get $50 of. Don't worry, I am writing this all down as well, Lucas. So at least we know who we're gonna give these to. So those are the two $50. So what we need to do now, Dean, is to do 11 to 20.
11 to 20. Yep. And we...
Luca, firstly, it's great to be a part of this event for the Race for Vimala, for the Vimala Centre in Mumbai. How much money has been raised so far, if you can give us a current up-to-date total?
Actually, I do not know this season. We haven't done the tally yet. We are a bit low comparing to the usual to what we usually get. We were up to 800, 1,000 euros, but again, I did not make a full count.
Okay.
However, we should also say that we have a sponsor, CLB, that will match the donation 1-to-1. So the more you get in, the more we'll get for Vimala.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. Right,
Nice.
Dean.
All right, spinning.
Could you please spin the wheel once again? This is for another $50 of US of iRacing credits.
Number 16.
And that is going to go to
Adam
16, Adam Talsma.
Talsma. Congratulations, Adam. This is Scudera Racing Forces. Number 7 entry.
Okay. Yep. So we'll need to take his number out, but I've got a little bit of an idea for the 240 US $40 iRacing credits that we're gonna put the numbers in for everyone that has already won a prize. Well, take out the numbers for everyone that has won a prize, but then open it up to everybody else. At least people get a chance. So we don't want everyone to feel left out.
Okay.
So that is now Adam Talsma taken out.
Yep.
Okay. For $60 worth of iRacing credits. Dean, please spin the wheel one more time.
Okay. So from 11 to 20 still?
Yeah, excluding Adam
Excluding
Talsma. Yeah.
16. Okay. Done. As you can see, we're just as exactly as it is on the picture, so we have no influence over the random picker wheel. It just does its thing. And congrats and good luck to the winners. 17.
Andy Flint.
Andy Flint.
60. Andy Flint. So, like I said, folks, this is what we've been asked by Luca and the team at iGPFun to have done for this. Right. Okay. So
Andy Flint's right now in the room too, so we could
let's bring. Okay.
Congratulate
Right.
him.
Yeah. Andy, good evening. I thought you said you might jump into the chat.
You just won, Andy, a prize.
Andy.
Outstanding. Evidently, I just need to get in the booth with you guys a little more often to win stuff.
Well, maybe. Well, you've won $60 of iRacing credits, my friend. We're just doing the lottery at the moment. So, but that was
Not the race, Andy. We didn't disqualify everybody ahead of you.
I know. I forgot to map a DQ button or an Alt F4, and unfortunately got wrecked today. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay, Dean. We need to go numbers 1. Let's go numbers 1 to 10, please.
1 to 10, and everybody's gonna. We're not excluding anything. Well, you can exclude 16 anyway.
No.
All right.
Okay, so this is for $60 worth of iRacing credits for the top 10. Please spin the wheel.
It's that's close. It's 2, I think. Number 2.
That's Brad Fulligar. Yeah, Brad
Fulligar.
Fulligar will wins 60 US dollars. So well done to Brad.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to do the top 6 and the top 3, but then afterwards we'll do my little idea, because obviously not everyone finished the race, so we want to make it fairer for those that have made it to the distance. Because Luca, I worked out, I did see that only drivers competing at least 90% of the race distance are eligible for the cash prizes, which means that we actually have all the way down to 31st. But what we're going to do is, for the 40 US dollars from 31st to 40, is that people that haven't won, we're going to basically exclude everyone that's won so far and put everyone into the hat. So at least it makes it a bit fairer. So there's a window of opportunity. So Dean,
yes, sir.
Sounds good to me. Good idea.
Can we do top 6 next of all, please?
We can do top 6.
Okay. Now, this resets the ledger, so don't be... If Brad Fullergar wins again, look, we are doing this. He's very lucky. So, for the top 6, for 70 US dollars of iRacing credits, Dean, spin the wheel, please.
Well, one thing, we got Tony Jimenez out there that's actually said he just donated 100 euros, so... Thank you very much for that one, then, Tony. I'm going to spin the wheel.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yes, our season 2 champion. About time that man but he put the package together, did a really, really good job, and it is going to be our race winner, Unisamal, that picks up 70 US dollars of iRacing.
Let me thank Tony for the very generous donation. Really,
muchas
very much
gracias, Tony.
appreciated.
So that is going to be Eunice that picks up 70 US dollars. Now,
yes.
1 to 3, please, Dean.
1 to 3, the top 3. Well,
top 3. So there is a 1 in 3 chance that Kevin Swemstra might get the top prize. But as I said, folks, this is being done by a random generator. We do not have any influence. Dean, for 80 US dollars of iRacing credits, spin that wheel, please.
Spinning. Oh, and it will go to Kevy.
And
yeah.
And it's going to Kevin Swemstra. Right. Okay, so what we will do now, Dean.
Yes, sir.
Is we're going to go numbers 1 to 31, please.
Okie dokie. That's the whole field.
And exclude the following numbers.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 16, 17, 22, and 24.
Okay, because they've already won. That's the reason why we're excluding them. This will give everybody else a chance that hasn't won.
So this is everybody else. There are 2 opportunities to win 40 US dollars. This will be going by position where the drivers finished in the race for Vimala. So, Dean, for the first $40 iRacing credits prize, please spin the wheel.
That's close. 21.
Wait, 21. Marcis Putniks from the Latvian Arrows is going to take that one.
Good job.
Well done, Marcis.
Marcis. Yep.
And then
so
now
I'll
if you exclude him. Yep.
21. Okie dokie.
Okay. Last prize going for $40 iRacing credits for the last time tonight here on the Race for Vimala for iGPFun. Dean, spin that wheel.
Say unlucky for some. It's lucky for one person.
Number 43, Marius Anderson, picks up the final prize. So there we go. All prizes have now been decided through the random generator. So a big thank you to everyone that has taken part. I mean, Luca, it's really, really good to see how close, as always, the iGPFun SFL Lights community is. You know, we have great racing week in, week out. It just goes to show that this is just part and parcel of what the sim racing community can give back to those that are really in need, especially at the Vimala Centre in Mumbai.
And yes, and if I can get in, I would really like to thank our sponsors. I really, really appreciate what they do. So we started the Formula Gearing race more than 10 years ago, and iRacing and VRS have always supported us. iRacing every year give us $1,000. Some of them goes to as prize for drivers, some goes to Vimala. VRS, they have always given us 600 euros in credits for donors. So basically, if you donate 20 euros, you will get 10 euros back in VRS credits. And they also always give us a piece of hardware to put on auction, and all the money go to Vimala. So this year we have a steering wheel from them to put on auction, and I think it's really great. So VRS, they have a wonderful service. They have a great telemetry service. I recommend you look into them. You can use it for free. You can pay a little bit for it. Again, they're great guys. Both them and iRacing have always done a lot of good. So please support them if you can.
Yeah, Andy, Daytona, an interesting race circuit for the race for Vimala, but I think everyone had a lot of fun out there, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, everybody loves Daytona, especially at night, and it's kind of a shame that iRacing won't let us race it during the regular season. So it's great to get out here on week 13 and bump and bang a little bit in the SFL and a track that we don't normally get to run. So
yeah, and I think really, Dean, I mean, Daytona, it always provides fantastic racing, and we definitely had a corker tonight here for iGPFun for the race for Vimala, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a few very scary moments, but thankfully in the virtual world, nobody gets hurt. So big hats off to all the drivers, of course, and all the supporters for this fantastic league. And of course, the charity donations have been absolutely splendid. So thank you very much.
Yeah, indeed.
And thank you guys for the broadcast. You always do a great job.
It's our pleasure, Luca. It's our pleasure as always. And that's it from us here at JPB. iGPFun Race for Vimala is done and dusted here at Daytona. You've been in the company of Alex Goldscmidt and Dean Biggles Hopton for what has been a fantastic way to raise money for a fantastic cause. Of course, Season 3 iGPFun Super Formula Lights will be coming soon, back on Sunday nights. And until next time, race hard, race fair, and if in doubt, well, you better go flat out. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Good night for now.